What's going on, everyone? Today we're going over this skin tear effect I did in one of my recent edits. If you don't already, be sure to follow me on Instagram. I'll put the link down in the description. This will be more of an overview, so this might not make much sense if you're not familiar with Photoshop, but hopefully it does. But for this video, I want to do two main things. First thing is just do a quick overview of each of the layers and give you an idea of the different effects I'm using and different techniques. And then the second thing is I want to dive in a little bit deeper and show you how we actually do the skin tear look. So this is the original image. Let me Command plus so I can zoom in a bit more. And this is from a photographer. I'll put his link in the description as well if you want to check out his work. So first thing I did is I smoothed out some parts of his face, so I got rid of his eyes so we have a more even flat surface to work with. We'll see why that's needed later. We have a couple dodge and burn layers. We'll get more into that, of how that actually helps add some depth to the skin tear. And then with this next layer, we have this hole in the tree. So let me hide this layer mask. You can see what's actually going on. So blend mode back to normal. So we just have this hole in the tree that we want to use to kind of add a little bit of depth inside of what we're seeing inside this guy's, inside of his face, I guess. We'll set that back. Let's reveal that layer mask. Let's set the blend mode back to multiply. This next layer, we have our shadows. We just added to paint a little bit more depth inside that tree. Got our mushrooms, of course, because you know, a lot of mushrooms going on inside of our brains. We have this fence layer right here. I also added a duplicated layer of the guy's actual skin. Use a clipping mask so that way it kind of adds a little bit more of that color of the skin on the fence, so it's not just a pure silver. Thought it looked nice. For the next layer, we just duplicated the leaves. So we cut that out from the hole in the tree layer and then just had that go on top so that way we can add a little bit more depth of having the leaves overlap with the fence and also the skin. And then some of my favorites, I always have to use adjustment layers for everything. Basically all these are amazing. So I used some color balance and a hue and saturation layer to help get the right look for the leaves that I was going for. Also add a little bit of particles to give some just a little atmosphere within inside of his face. Then the last layer here, did a little camera raw to do some final retouches on just the overall look and overall color grade and get the right aesthetic that we're going for. So now that we understand what's going on with this edit, let's dive in a little bit deeper and see how we actually do this skin tear look. So we're gonna go back to this tree layer and we're gonna hit Command J. This is where we'll start painting in those skin tears. So let's go ahead and just restart it. So I'm going to show you how we can do this. Delete layer mask. There we go. Now we have our layer back to this. And I'm going to hide these dodge and burn layers as well too. Cool. So here we are. So first thing we want to do is create a layer mask. And then to keep things super quick and simple, we're going to hit B, get our brush tool out. Use the brackets to increase the size, and then I'm gonna go ahead and hide these effects. And we're just gonna paint away the parts we don't want. And this can be really loose right now because we'll be coming back and fine-tuning this. Cool, so something like that should work. And then we're gonna get a different kind of brush. So for the skin tears, I like to use a charcoal brush. This is the one I use, and if you want, these are just some free brushes I found online, so I'll put the link in the description as well if you want to download them. But this just helps add a little bit of texture to the skin itself. Increase that size quite a bit. Brackets will help increase and decrease. And then we can come in a little bit closer and start to, actually paint in where those skin tears will be. So we're gonna do this kind of quick just to give you the idea, so it won't look exact like the last edit I did, but you get the idea. I know I'm not going super in depth with everything just for the sake of time, but leave a comment down below and let me know if this is all making sense. Alright, so this is looking a little bit rough, but we get the idea of how the technique works. Obviously, with some more time, you can really fine-tune with the different tears in the skin and make sure it looks the way you want it to. So let's go back to our other layer since that one looks quite a bit better. Cool, and you'll see a couple of the effects I added to this. Let me double click on there so you can see what we actually used. We added a little bit of an inner shadow with the darker red to help make it still feel like it's part of the skin. but just add a little bit more depth within behind those skin tears. You can see how that's working right there. We also added some red for the outer glow to give the skin a more irritated look around the edges. For this next part, we're going to be doing dodge and burn to add some shading on here and adding a little bit more depth on the skin tears. With dodge, adding some highlights, burn, adding those shadows in here. So I'm going to go ahead and hide those, and then we'll go ahead and recreate this real quick. So I'm going to add 2 adjustment layers. This one will be our burn, this one our dodge. So what we do to get this is we double click here, and we go ahead and just bring this up to right in the image. And we can go to our layer mask, Command I to invert it, and do the opposite for burn. We'll just bring this down to darken the image. Command I. Cool. So for this part, we're going to take our brush tool. I like to go back to a normal brush, bring the hardness all the way down to 0 so it's nice and soft. And then take the flow and add it somewhere around 2 or 3 usually works pretty good, but you can play with this. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, so just something nice and subtle you can do to start. Go ahead and painting in some of those highlights. It's also good to go into the image and actually look where the light is coming. So the light source is coming down at this angle. So we'll want to try to replicate that best we can, making sure that what we're adding with dodge and burn still feels realistic. So that's looking pretty good. Let's do the same thing for our burn. I'm going to go in. And this one we might have to increase the flow just a little bit more. Let's bring it to like 7. And we can come in here and add that onto some of these edges to make sure we're darkening it in a tasteful way. Once again, most of the shadows will be coming on this lower side since the light will be coming down this way. For this, I recommend taking your time, going nice and slow. I like to just come in here and make the brush size super small and like really try to get in on those edges and making them look nice with those details. But for the sake of this video, we're just keeping the brush a little bit larger and just doing a general pass on everything. I also like to take the brush right here with our burn layer, and then you can find some spots that maybe you can like really make it a little bit more dramatic. But this really helps sell the effect. So like right here, I thought it'd be nice to really dig in deeper a little bit there. And if you need to as well, you can always come back to your adjustment layer and even bring that down more if you want to have it a little bit darker. Something like that looks nice. Alright, so not too bad. And obviously take your time doing this. We just did it really quick to get the general idea. So this is the original dodge and burn layers. And then once you have that and all your other effects going, it all comes together pretty nicely when you have your color grading done and everything. And there you go. Let's go back to our main layers. This is what our final image looks like. Obviously you can see we spent a little more time getting those details in there, making sure the shadows fit nicely. But that way we have this kind of distressed skin tear look going on. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if it was helpful. This is my first tutorial, so you know, feel free to show some love. Also leave a comment down below, let me know what you want to see more of in the future. And then if you try this technique out, be sure to tag me on Instagram. Link is in the description. And I'd love to see what you try out and see what you make. So yeah, until next time.